Okay, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order at this time. We'll do roll call.
Commissioner Maxon,
Here.
Commissioner York,
Here.
Vice Mayor Doan,
Here.
Commissioner Van Oster,
Here.
and Mayor Bauer is absent tonight.
Pastor Mark Wilson will lead us in the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our Father God, we stand before you. We stand before you, the creator of this whole world, and in this pandemic that has turned our lives upside down these last 7 months or so. Lord, tonight we want to focus on you. We ask the question, I think that all of us are, we're that age, that what is life really all about? And it is about you, Lord. And in this pandemic, in all of our frustration and anger, anxiety, all the feelings and things that we've had in these last few months, Lord, I pray has turned us to you, to receive you into our life. Repent from our old lifestyle, our busyness and our selfishness. And Lord, I know I am the most selfish. And I ask you to forgive me. And I ask you to take control of this group tonight, Lord, esteemed colleagues. And Lord, as the decisions are made tonight, in not just a business as usual, but there would be an eye to look up to you and see your smile and see that you encourage us in the life-giving aspects of what this community is all about. Turning to you, Lord, and knowing you as a personal Savior and Lord of our life. And I pray that, Lord, that is the precedent over this whole meeting. And we thank you, Lord. We look to you, and we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, Seth.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll move on to the review of the agenda. I move to approve the amended agenda to add business item number 6, Resolution R-20-82 to the agenda.
Second.
Motion is made by Vice Mayor Doan, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to approve the amended agenda to add new business item number 6, Resolution R-20-82 to the agenda. Commissioner York.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon.
Aye. We'll move on to the consent agenda. It withholds items number 1, 2, and 3. First item is the meeting minutes from City Commission meeting Tuesday, October 27th, 2020. Item number 2 is permission for the Coffeyville Police Department to apply for the STOP VAWA grant. And the third item is the 2020 appropriation ordinance number AO-20-21 in the amount of $4,386,591.32. Any discussion?
I just have a few things to bring out, and then while I'm bringing out the rest of them, I am going to ask if Stephanie will come up, because the majority of this appropriation ordinance has to do with general obligation bonds. But also in this, we've got $71,000 this month going to Coffeyville Regional Medical Center for the sales tax distribution. We have the tax distribution received going to the library of $6,200. Of course, then we have, which we have every time, at least once a month, but I don't usually say it, but we have $36,900 going to Meridian, I can't even say it, health, for the health and life premiums. Then we also have $7,000 this month that we're paying to Trans Systems Corporation, and they are the ones that are working on the design for the 10th Street improvement project as far as the sidewalk design. And so those are just some of the others, and then I'll ask Stephanie to tell you about the $3,298 one.
That payment is in reference to the bond refunding that we did. Those bonds closed in September, and our payment is due the 1st of October. So we went ahead and we received all those bond proceeds in September. So we had those funds sitting there, so then we pay those bonds off with that payment that's due October 1st. So
Okay.
that's what that's associated with. The principal amount was $3,240,000 on that payment.
Okay, all right, yes, thank you.
Okay.
Since you deal with that
All
most,
right.
you can
Any
explain it
others?
better. And thank you for that, very much, appreciate it. And that's all I have.
Any further? With none, I'll move to approve items 1 through 3 of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Vice Mayor Doan, seconded by Commissioner Maxon to approve items 1 through 3 of the consent agenda as presented. Vice Mayor Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon,
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
We'll move to comments from the public. Any citizen desiring to address the commission shall be recognized, advance to the podium, state his or her name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes unless extended by a vote of the majority of the commission. The commission does not hear matters involving litigation or city personnel. The commission does not take action on subjects not on the agenda unless unusual or hardship conditions exist. Citizens may address the commission on agenda items as they are brought to the floor. Any comments? Come up to the podium. Absolutely.
Thank
You're up
you.
there by yourself. If you just
Okay,
state
I
your
can't
name and
breathe.
your address.
My name is Jacqueline Hobbs, and the reason I'm here is we have a situation at the cemetery with a burial plot that I own, and somebody was buried in that plot last week. According to the deeds that I have, the plot that I actually purchased, somebody was buried in a year ago. But the true correct one, I guess, to what I purchased, even though my map was upside down, they were buried last week. So I think that we need to come to some type of a fair resolution. I'm not by any means wanting this person moved. I lost my father as a teenager. I've lost my 2 little sisters. We just recently moved my father and one of my sisters, and my family spent $10,000 to move them. It's traumatic for a family to do that. But we are wanting a family plot, and I think a simple solution is to reserve those plots, and I'm told we can't do that. So, I mean, maybe we need to set this for another time and put it on the agenda, or, have a separate meeting. You have any suggestions on a solution?
There was a clerical mistake about 18 months ago, if not further, and it was in that that 2 deeds, the question of the one that she is in question about, there was 2 deeds for that property. The other plot that she owns in the lot section still remains, but this one, there is 2 families in the other side. What has been offered, from my understanding, is that because of the clerical mistake, is a total of 4 lots at your choosing of any open, plots in the cemetery at no additional cost. So basically, you paid for 2, and the city would allow 2 more at your choosing, or the city can refund your I guess, cost to the two plots that you paid for. But it's trying to, the family is there, they have a deed also. Like I say, it was a clerical mistake. In the lot section that we are discussing, there is not any, there's two families that are already in there, but I know you don't have a family in there yet. So that's why we're offering a total of 4, 2 free, at your choosing, 2 free plots anywhere in the cemetery. So a total of 4. But if you'd like, we could refund the cost of the 2 plots.
And for me, what actually happened was when I first purchased these plots, my family was trying to obtain a total of 88 plots in a new section that opened up. And when I originally bought them, Cindy Price, I'd selected these plots. Cindy Price changed them and put them all in a couple of sections. And then I was able to go back in and change that. And when you look at the map of what I bought, this map is actually upside down according to what they actually are. I'm not as much concerned about the number of plots as reserving the other ones, giving us time to purchase them. I actually thought my family had already bought some because there's several members that are going to buy these plots. But this is a situation where there's been several clerical errors. The first time with Cindy Price moving them, the second time with the map being upside down. Like I said, the first couple that was buried was actually a year ago. And then, of course, now the new one was a week ago. And I'm told that they just void my deed, that it doesn't matter that I bought the plot first, that under no circumstance would they consider moving the individual, but I don't want the individual moved. I'm willing to relocate. I'm asking for time and reserving the plots, which I'm told I can't do because they don't offer a deed until they're paid for. And I think with the city making a mistake, then they should also make an exception for me and
Well,
allow
and-
me time
and-
to purchase them.
And
We do,
Mark, I will.
Okay.
So it's a delicate subject.
Very.
Jackie, I'm very compassionate to it. I'm looking at the map here, and you sparingly have different sections out of 10 different plots.
Correct.
So all that together is the 88 that you ultimately,
Yeah, they're all in those sections. That's what we're trying to obtain, is we're wanting to purchase all of those.
okay.
We have a stone that, a piece of marble that my grandfather carried back from Greece, that we're going to put a memorial. We even had to buy the piece of land in front of these that wasn't a plot to put this on. And like I said, I have a lot of family members that are going to be purchasing these plots. So when I originally purchased them, it was to get them in different plots to kind of offset maybe people buying in the middle of this section that we were trying to buy. And unfortunately, my family didn't go up there like I thought and purchased them, and I hadn't paid attention to. I had many other things going on in the last couple of years, but which, although I think that's great in offering something different, and I'm willing to negotiate. But like I said, what I'm more interested in is, putting a hold, put a time limit on it for us to go in there and buy those plots. And again, what I'm told is that they don't want empty plots out there,
Well,
regardless of who pays for them. They're,
and ultimately, we have to look out for the whole city. And,
I understand.
And everybody. And if you come in and buy one plot in the middle of a section, because you said you're trying to preserve it, it keeps a family who might need 4 plots from going in there. So
Right.
we understand that. What is your timeline of expect?
a year or two is all we need.
And you have, it sounds like, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what I'm hearing is you thought that your family had a plan for
Had already bought them.
for 88 plots.
Yes,
Okay. And they didn't come up. So
right.
My request and then question, my request to you is to talk to your family and try to see what their plan is now, because obviously
Yeah.
it wasn't what you initially thought.
Well, the plan is now to have them go ahead and do it. Now, that may happen in a couple of months, but just to be on the safe side, whatever time frame, if you allow the reservation, we will stick to that time frame.
And what's, my question to you is, you said you wanted to negotiate, so what's your ask? What are?
I'm more interested in reserving. I mean, it would be nice to have a fair amount. We spent $10,000 to move 2 people. I understand the city might spend $1,700 to move 2 people. I'm told they're going to void my deed, even, which I think that I would have the legal right to that spot because I had already purchased it. It's not that I'm, not wanting to be fair here. I'm more interested in the time frame of being able to buy the lots. It'd be nice to have more than 2 offered to me, but I'm more interested in the time frame.
How long ago was it you purchased these?
It's been a couple of years.
So you've had adequate time.
Yes, we have
to-
had accurate time.
And
And that
I
is
feel for
definitely
you.
a
I have
family
all
problem.
the compassion in the world for you, but I think the city's being more than fair with what they're offering you.
Without the time limit.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't want to have to hire an attorney, but
Well, that's
if I
your
have
choice.
to, I will.
That is absolutely your choice.
Okay.
Thank
So,
you for your
is
time.
that the decision for everybody?
Well, we can't make a decision. We're
Right.
we're listening to you at this
Yeah.
point,
Okay,
but yes.
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
You guys have a good day.
You as
You
well.
too. Thank you, Jackie. Any other comments? Okay. We will move into regular agenda items. We will have a special presentation by Fire Chief Billy Cockman on winter fire safety. And before you get started, I just want to say I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, sir, that's your request, and I appreciate, you got the gator colors on over there on your mask, right? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't see that far, I don't have my glasses, I thought you was representing Florida tonight, I apologize for that. We just put this together, this is just fire safety for Coffeyville per winter. There's some things in here pretty much everybody probably already knows, we're just gonna reaffirm them. There's some things in here that some people may not know that may help us out in the long run with prevention. So safety, fire safety for Coffeyville. Space heaters, everybody has space heaters, or a lot of people use space heaters around here. The portable space heaters are portable and non-portable account for 2 out of every 5 fires. And here in Coffeyville, we got a lot of the wooden houses. So once those tip over or once those catch on carpet or catches something on fire, it's going to go pretty quickly. So we have to kind of maintain and prevent and watch out for issues with that. So we're going to talk a little bit about those. Get used to Chris's thing here. Okay. So more than 25,000 fires have started a year in residential homes due to space heaters. All right, that's a lot of fires. And just imagine that you're having about 300 people die just for trying to stay warm. We understand we got to stay warm, but let's try to figure out ways that we can help you guys to make sure that you're being safe around the space heaters. Of course, everybody knows you get close to a space heater, it's going to be hot, so you're not going to go around it. The problem is sometimes they get tipped over, sometimes how they plug them in, and kids will run around and bump these things and knock them over. So we always want to try the best we can to keep them about 3 feet away from any kind of combustible areas. That would be, a lot of people like to put them up against the walls. Well, make sure you don't have any drapes. Make sure you don't have anything that can catch on fire close to that. Always try to keep them on a level surface. If you already got it tipping this way, it didn't take much just to knock it over. One of the sentences here says, keep it away to where your pets or kids can't, knock them over. And that's a big thing we see all the time. Somebody knocks them over. And a big one on here says, if you're an adult and you leave, turn them off. if you're leaving your young ones there at home, 16 years old, watching the other ones, maybe put on some coats or something with them. Just turn those off because those can be disastrous. And I can tell anybody in here don't want to go to one of these fires where some kid got trapped in. This is a mobile home, just shows you real quick. I can tell you that mobile homes are one of the most deadliest traps fires that we have. Once that thing starts on fire, and if it's in a mobile home lot, my first thought is when we're arriving on the scene is to protect the other mobile homes. Because usually by the time we get there, 3/4 of that mobile home's on fire, mobile home's on fire, and it's probably a loss. So now we're talking about protecting the exposures of the surrounding neighbors. So that's how quick those can go. Electric space heaters, everybody plugs them in. You should plug them in straight to the wall. If you find one that says you don't have to plug it in straight to the wall, I would worry about that. Now, we all know, and we've all seen that Chevy Chase Christmas thing where he puts in like 20 plugs into one plug and plug on plug. Well, one space heater can actually cause more harm than a lot of plugs on the plugs. This right here is an example of what can happen. It says do not ever plug them in with an extension cord, but if you do, you have to get that special, it's like a 14 gauge wire plug that goes into it. It's a very thick one. So if you're apt to and you have to use an extension cord, which is not suggested, please make sure you use one of the thickest extension cords you can get. It's like a 14 gauge. We went down to the Dell Apartments the other day. Young man's cell phone charger had caught on fire and smoked the whole 6th floor out. So this right here is going to be a lot more powerful, and it's going to have a lot more spark and charge. And if you have this run anything combustible, you could possibly lose your house or mobile home. So be very wary of that. Just some more talking about combustible space heaters, unvented and vented. These are two things that we want to watch out for. If you have an unvented one, that's one that you don't have anything plugged into it to take outside and move all the heat, the combustibles outside, vented in. You could actually cause carbon monoxide in your house. You could actually cause nitrogen levels in your house to go up. This can be bad. We've all heard about generators. Whenever we use our generator during a storm or something, when our lights go out, if you put your generator in the garage, that's not a good idea because the carbon monoxide can go into your house. So we've always suggested be about 3 feet outside your garage, never put it inside the house. Well, this is a similar situation that can happen. Even the vented ones can get clogged up and cause that buildup of smoke or carbon monoxide in your house. So, things to watch out for. Make sure you check it, make sure everything's working well before you turn these things on. And don't leave your house with your space heaters turned on or portable heaters. Another thing is, how are we able to get places early on time? A lot of people, just like with the Dell Apartments, if that apartment would have caught on fire, instead of us, what happened is that the young man heard his smoke alarm, and I'm saying that very loudly, smoke alarm go off, woke him up. He said he woke up to smoke everywhere. I'm a big proponent of smoke alarms. Matter of fact, when I first got here, I told the staff and the city council that I wanted to do a program to where we go neighborhood to neighborhood once a month, knock on the door, ask them to check your smoke alarms. If you need one, we were going to give you one. If you had a bad one, we were going to check it. I'm a big proponent on that. Unfortunately, COVID has knocked that program out for now, and we can't even get smoke detectors from Red Cross because they're afraid that if we bring smoke detectors in the house, it could cause us to get COVID or pass it along. So, but I can let you guys understand how important they are. A lot of people think, man, that person got burned in a fire, died in a fire. Most of the time, it's not the fire that kills them. Most of the time, it's the smoke. And just like that gentleman said, he woke up to smoke. If that fire alarm or smoke alarm hadn't woke him up, he could have died right there because of smoke. Because once it starts going down and takes away your oxygen, your brain needs oxygen within 3 to 6 minutes or your brain dead. So it's very big. I'm a very big proponent on these smoke alarms, smoke detectors. As you'll see in a slide from now, a lot of people go, oh, the smoke detector went off. I got time to gather up my things. I got time to go get this. Or, oh, I forgot a family heirloom I need to go grab. Please don't do that. You don't have that much time. You may have that much time for the fire to go all the way across, but the smoke's gonna get you. All right? This is one of my favorite ones. What should I do with that little beeping, chirping sound? I'm gonna tell you right now, the battery needs to be changed. Your battery is dying, and that's one of the most annoying sounds. Change your battery. If you put it on a schedule, they say once a year to change your battery. I like to do it twice a year, every 6 months. So, hey, your birthday, Christmas, or every time the clock goes back, change your battery, check your battery. There's a little button on there, and that was one of the things we were gonna do. Walk in, push that button, see if it works. If it chirps one time and good, your battery's good. Change those batteries out so often. You know, you can have as many smoke detectors as you want, reality, but if they're not working or the batteries are not charged, they're not gonna work. They're not gonna help you. And we'll see, I think it's this next slide. Yeah. Another myth is, if I got a smoke alarm, smoke detector, I'm protected. This has no protection for you. This only alarms you. Your protection is, hear that, get your family out. Don't try to put the fire out, call us, we're gonna be there within a few minutes, we're gonna take care of it. Nothing is more important than you guys' life, your life or your family's life compared to a house. So it doesn't protect you, it alerts you. I think that first one says, you know, you got 5 to 10 minutes. I promise you, in a trailer home, you do not. You got about 2 minutes to get out, and that thing's gonna be ripping through there if the smoke don't get you. Yeah, the fire would be bright enough that you can see your way out. I can. Anybody wants to ever come, we do some training sometimes, and I'll put you in a room with a mask that you can't see this far in front of you, because that's what's going to happen. The smoke's going to come down. It's going to get pitch dark black in there. You're not going to be able to see anything, and then the smoke's going to take you out. All right, so don't use the fire. Matter of fact, the best thing to do, hopefully you can go away from the fire to get out. So don't think that's going to help you. I believe those covers most of it. Says if I crawl, I'm going to be okay because it's not going to get too hot. Once again, usually smoke does rise, but the way that the buildings are and the way your house are, especially mobile homes, the smoke's going to roll over and go down to the ground also. So just because you're down, you may not get the heat, but once again, the heat's not what we're worried about. It's the smoke. We'll take care of the heat. This is for all you chefs out there. Just for those, hold on a second, Chris. All right, Chris is going to give this video before I got to talk. But that's all right. This is what happens when you put a frozen turkey into a fryer. With Thanksgiving and Christmas, I think Chris was giving me like the Grammy Awards when I was talking too long. Hey, you're getting over your 10 minutes. So, you just got me. So I apologize about that. I'm almost done, I promise you. If you're going to fry your turkey, that's great because they taste good. Matter of fact, I can help you out if anybody wants me to. 3 pounds per minute, you know, whatever it is, I can help you with that because I'm definitely going to eat it. The reality of it is your turkey cannot be frozen. All right, everybody thinks, oh, frozen turkey, put it in there, but that's what will happen. Also, you have to make sure you don't put it, this first picture on the right, or the picture on the right, shows you inside. And a lot of people like to cook right there in their garage. Bring it out, move it out. Take your pot, put the turkey in, fill it up with water to where you want to. Take your turkey out, and wherever the water goes down, that's where you mark it. That's where you know how much oil you're going to put in it. But if it's frozen, remember, it's going to expand it even more, so it cannot be frozen. So Anybody have any comments, questions, concerns? Like I said, I have a passion for things like this, and I appreciate it, the opportunity, so.
Absolutely.
No,
So, Chief, I think one of the things people don't realize too, in a house fire, so there's so many chemicals in a house now between what's in carpet, what's in wallboard, all those different things. So it's not just the smoke, it's the chemicals that the fire releases as well that can become a real problem. So.
Absolutely, 100%. And I always start off when I'm training new firefighters. Do you think you fight firefighters today the same as we did 30 years ago? And they go, yeah, you put water on fire. Absolutely not. It's 100% different for just what you said, Mr. York. It's different
Yeah.
combustibles, the building materials, so.
One thing I'd just like to add, one of the worst scenes that I ever went in on was one of those 99-cent extension cords ran from behind a bed underneath the mattress to a heater. And the bed caught on fire. Luckily, the child was able to get out, but yeah, don't use a cheap extension cord, and definitely don't run it underneath the mattress.
Absolutely.
Back in my safety days at Amazon, we used to preach don't daisy chain too, right? So don't plug one strip into another strip to get your extra distance. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
It's the old Chevy Chase
Yeah.
style. But
Yeah.
yes,
don't
sir.
be a
Just-
Clark.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move into new business. Discussion and action to make an appointment to the CRMC Board of Trustees. City Clerk Melissa Carter will make comments.
Tonight, there is one appointment available for the CRMC Board of Trustees that expires January 1st, 2022. There were 3 applicants, and I see Kristen and Marcus, but not Mario. If you have any questions, I'm sure they would be able to answer those for you.
Perfect, and I apologize, I looked ahead. You're making comments
That's
on the
okay.
next one.
No
But you
worries.
picked up right there.
No
Awesome. Okay, so if we could, I think you guys know the drill. So Kristen, if you want to come up first and kind of explain to us why you wanted to put in an application.
Good evening. I currently am working at Commercial Bank. I manage the bank here in Coffeyville and Caney, as well as do all the loans for them. CRMC holds a very special place in my heart. I worked there for 7 years prior to going into banking. It is definitely a family environment, and I want to see us keep our health care here in town. I think that is very important for a small community to have, especially with the pandemic going on. We would be in really bad shape if we did not have that. I've served on different boards. I've served for the last 3 years on the Coffeyville Area Chamber of Commerce. I was the chairman last year, as well as Rotary and the Coffeyville Reawakening Senior Advisory Board. I do believe that my background, serving on these boards would help me in this position as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you, Chris.
Thank you.
Marcus, would you like to come up, sir?
Hello. I've served on several boards from the planning and zoning. I'm currently on the Parks Board, and now I'd like to try to be on the hospital board. I feel that the hospital is doing an okay job, but I've talked to a lot of people in this town, and a lot of people are afraid to go to this hospital for some reason. I personally have not had any bad experiences, but I've heard people having them. One of the greatest hits that I think Coffeyville took for the hospital was the third floor going away. You walk the streets, and you will see there are 2 big problems in this community, and that's mental health and drug addiction. I would love to see the hospital find a way to get some type of drug rehabilitation program here, or something of the like to help those 2 concerns. You can see it walking down the street. It's something that hits us, this area big, and we need open doors and open eyes to what's going on in the community. Like I said, it's a big hospital, and I know there's lots of room, but I think priorities need to be realigned a little bit. and work to the greater goal of having the heartbeat of the community and putting someone in there who's been in the community for years and help serve.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Marcus.
Marcus. Well, we have 3 applicants. 2 of them showed up tonight, all qualified applicants. We have 1 position open, so two people won't get appointed at this time. However, coming January, there will be 3 additional spots that will open up. Probably, I don't know if those people will choose to reapply or not, but there will be more opportunity. We always encourage people to get civically engaged. I'm very happy that we have 3 applicants. It's not very good when we have to go out and try to beg people to fill appointed positions. So I appreciate it, and at this time, I will open it up to a motion.
So, Mr. Mayor, I'll move to appoint Kristen, and Kristen, I'm sorry, I always get your last name wrong. Kristen Kane, to the CRMC Board of Trustees for the vacant term expiring January 1st, 2022.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner York, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to appoint Kristen Kane to the CRMC Board of Trustees for the vacant term expiring January 1st, 2022. Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Marcus, thank you for replying as well. And
Yes.
please stay engaged, stay involved.
And you're doing a great job on the Parks Board, too.
Yep.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Okay, we will move on to Resolution R-20-78, a resolution to authorize the adoption of a city board vacancy procedure. City Clerk Melissa Carter now appropriately will make comments.
The Vice Mayor and Commissioners, the resolution before you just puts a basic procedure in place for appointments to city board vacancies. As you're aware, positions on city boards become vacant through scheduled end-of-served terms and unscheduled openings through resignations. There currently is no defined procedure in place to fill either of these. This proposed procedure would make an effort to ensure that the application process is being kept consistent and help the boards and applicants know what to expect. It involves advertising the vacancies for not less than 2 weeks, applications being submitted to the city clerk's office before the deadline, and then going to the commission for appointment. This plan also goes through the steps that should be taken when an unscheduled vacancy occurs. Members of the city board wishing to resign shall submit their resignations to their city board contact, who will then forward them to me to start the advertising and application process. This also addresses the situation of a person already serving on a city board. They would be eligible to apply to serve on another board, but if appointed, then they would automatically forfeit their membership on the first board, so we would stay in accordance with our ordinance. This is just a first step in putting a process in place. I'm confident there are other ways to improve upon this, and happy moving forward to amend this procedure to make it suit what works for all entities involved. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
I don't have any. I think this is good.
Mayor, Commissioners, I would just like to say that it is Melissa has worked very hard on this to form this into something workable, but it is a living document. So as time changes or the board wishes, those things can be brought up to date. But I think this is a great step in trying to encourage people to apply and know exactly how this process works. So I just wanted to add that and commend her for taking this on to, streamline the process.
How many vacancies do we currently have?
Currently, after this one's filled, we have 2 on the Planning and Zoning Commission. We have 1 applicant that could not be at tonight's meeting, so since we had another opening, we're keeping that open for another 2 weeks, so that
Okay.
will be coming to the next commission meeting. But currently, just the 2. We do have some coming off in January, and then also in March of 2021.
Okay.
Very good.
I'd move to approve resolution R-20-78.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Maxon, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to approve Resolution R-20-78 as presented. Commissioner Maxon,
Aye.
Commissioner York,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
You did a good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa.
We'll move on to Resolution R-20-79, a resolution to award the 10th Street Sidewalk construction contract to J. Graham Construction. Director of Engineering Services, Thomas Osborne, will make comments.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Tonight before you, I have a construction contract for J. Graham Construction. This is for the CDBG grant that was awarded for sidewalks on 10th Street. So that goes from Gillum to Camden. Sidewalks would be on both sides of the street. We're looking mostly 6-foot sidewalks. These would all be ADA compliant. The grant is a 50-50 grant. We had received 2 bids. Both were qualified bidders. J. Graham was the low bidder. We have quite a bit of funds left over on the grant that we're in the process of seeing what else we can do, but we do need to go ahead and get a grant awarded, hopefully to get this started as soon as possible as far as construction. Hopefully get this done during this winter time. So, you have to answer any questions?
This will be good.
Yes.
Good addition to what has already been done there as far as the streets. Yes, very good.
Well, so that gets us 2 really good corridors there with 9th and 10th now, with great improvements to those neighborhoods, so, yep.
Okay, I'll move to approve resolution R-20-79 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner York to approve Resolution R-20-79 as presented. Commissioner York,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon.
Aye.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Thomas. You're gonna stay up there, huh?
Yeah.
He's got the next
We'll
one.
move to
Yeah.
Resolution R-20-80, a resolution to approve a construction contract with J. Graham Construction for the Highland Road reconstruction project. Go ahead, Thomas.
Thank you again, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Last November, we contracted with Olson Associates to design a fix to the severe deterioration to Highland Road between First Street and Norwood Highland Fairway interchange. During this time, of course, we had COVID, so we've kind of slowed the project up, but we got it out to bid. We received bids on October 29th. We did have 3 qualified bidders. Again, J. Graham Construction was the low bid, or the amount of $881,779.60. We feel this is a fair price. Olson's agreed with that. We have checked with Graham. He's good with his bid. This is 100% city funds out of the sales tax. It's very similar to what we did on Wilshire 3 or 4 years ago at this point, where we've kind of built up those funds to where we can finally do a reconstruction. Highland Road is one of the worst streets that is highly populated in town, so that's why it was selected. We are looking at a complete redesign on the intersection where all those 3 roads come together, looking at both for the safety of vehicular traffic as well as pedestrian traffic. As you know, we are moving Safe Routes to School grants continually through, and we're moving that direction. This will tie right in with the grant that we have applied for, because we are looking at trying to do Norwood around to 8th Street on the 2023 Safe Routes to School grant. This would put a sidewalk on the east side. The construction time frame is we're actually looking at about 190 days. This is because we're planning to phase it to maintain access to all residents. We are also planning a meeting for the residents to come and kind of see exactly what we're doing and how we need them to help us
Good.
during that time, because it is a substantial project on a very narrow road. So we're looking at, we did some phasing to make sure that would succeed, so. Happy to answer any questions.
So
I-
you, oh, go ahead.
No way that I would vote against this, because I am so excited to see this. My question and concern is, we're potentially about to approve 2 projects for Jay Graham. Is that going to be?
The slated timeframe for beginning construction, I believe, was March on this one. So it's a late start, so pretty much we should have the,
So 10th Street
as
should
long as the weather permits this winter,
Right.
10th Street should be, he'd be finishing up 10th Street and just be able to roll right into working on
Okay.
Highland Road, so.
Very
So,
good.
and this would begin in March and 190 days, right?
That would be the
As-
target late start date.
As long as everything, yeah.
If we have weather issues, again, this is 100% city funded out of the sales tax.
Uh-huh.
So we can potentially slide that back to make sure that he's able to focus on that, and if that's what we need to do, so.
Very good.
So, okay. Yeah. A little bit March.
And
Yeah.
that
So,
project
fall.
is from First Street to the intersection.
It includes that intersection, the
Right.
triangle,
Right.
reworking it
Yeah.
completely, yeah.
Okay. There's
Where
no
they
other
will be
questions. I'll move to approve resolution R2080 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner York, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to approve Resolution R-20-80 as presented. Vice Mayor Done,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon,
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
All right. We'll move on to Resolution R-20-81, a resolution to authorize Amendment Number 1 with Olson for engineering services on the Highland Road reconstruction project. Again, Director Thomas Osborne.
Thank you again, Vice Mayor and Commissioners. As mentioned before, it was last November, we contracted with Olson to design this project for the Highland Road project. At that time, we had an estimated 90 days for construction. As I just stated, we're looking at about 190 days. So there's a big change in there. This resolution covers that change in scope, as well as we switched from asphalt to concrete, which has more testing requirements and material costs for that, or different ones as well. So Brian Coombs with Olson Associates is here if you have any questions for him. But again, it's with the change in scope for all the phasing that we did to make sure that we could maintain access, it just required an update to that original agreement. So- And it'd be based on hours worked on the fee schedule in the agreement, so.
Brian, did you have a presentation prepared?
Did not have a formal presentation.
Well, I didn't want to not call you up if you got all your ducks in a row and were ready to talk.
If you'd like me to give more information, I'd be happy to, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. Just excited for the opportunity.
I'm kind of just picking on you in good faith. but do you guys have any questions?
I
don't have
don't.
any.
Just-
You're fine, thank you.
I'll move to approve Resolution R-20-81 as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Maxon to approve Resolution R-20-81 as presented. Commissioner Van Oster,
Aye.
Commissioner Maxon,
Aye.
Commissioner York,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Done.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas. We'll move on to Resolution R-20-82, a resolution to authorize the execution of an engagement letter with Gilmore and Bell in connection with Casey's General Store project to rehabilitate commercial properties in Coffeyville. City Manager Mark Hall will make comments.
Mayor, Commissioners, the previous commission is aware of this process. We did this for the Reawakening Group. It is one of those to streamline the process and speed it up to those interested parties in Coffeyville. It's simply they make it known. Gilmore and Bell which you'll engage, and this is, the engagement allows them to talk directly representing you to the party and start that process moving forward. Of course, they're legal, they understand the state requirements, the days and these things, but also the cost to be expected. It is that they will confer with the commission and let their interests be known of the party. It is one of those that is something that is part of the process for Gilmore and Bell, is what they're trying to do, costs, and then those incentives that are allowable by state statute for local governments to be presented. They will, before any offer is ever reached, they will come back to you and discuss those. It is one of those, they will say these things are available to them. These are what it costs or doesn't cost. Usually most of the incentives that are offered, it is one of those, there is no cost to the city. It is, abatements are usually something, majority of the time is for a business that is not here, so the city is not missing anything. The CID, for example, is allowed to add up to 2 cents on our sales tax, but the city does not lose the sales tax. These are just other ways to move. The traffic development district, that allows up to 1% to be added. These are the things that will go through and explain to the party and work those and then come to the commission. But this speeds up the process. At any time, the party can engage us, and like this process, we can react quickly. Should there need to be a special meeting, then this would be what the special meeting is about, is to engage Gilmore and Bell and then hook up to the parties. So this is trying to always, as soon as we learn this, that the parties want to talk, this is how we go forward to get their answers to them as quickly as possible, and they are the professionals. They're the attorneys. They know how to put this together, and I know Garth has mentioned we have worked together on other projects prior to coming to Coffeyville, and that is with Miss Steele and with Miss Bell. This is what they do, and they know how to get it done and as quickly as possible. So that is what the resolution before you is, to engage them. If the commission approves, then a call will be made. I forgot about the holiday tomorrow, but a call will be made, and Gilmore and Bell will be given the contact information, and they'll start from there.
Mark, have we heard anything from Casey's themselves as far as a timeline on when they want to try and get this accomplished?
No, we are still currently in the, I guess you want to say, the due diligence process is the best way is the subject property that they're interested in is too small for what they want to accomplish, and with that, there is something that possibly the city will be involved in the future. Those are decisions that are currently being weighed by them. We have not, and I think, Thomas, we haven't heard a final decision yet on which way they want to go as far as, but we're open to that. We send them, we've had, the original meeting was October 8th. We met on the 14th, 22nd, by asking information.
Right.
The Zoom meeting was on the 8th. They requested information on the 14th, the 22nd, and the 26th. We've furnished those, and we are in communication with them about that, but there's still a lot of decision-making for them. And I know, like I say, there's a piece that they need that would be something in the future brought to the commission, should they choose to go that route. So we're working on it, and this gives them the opportunity to know things that they can do to offset costs if they choose to go that route.
Okay,
Very good.
yeah,
Appreciate your efforts on it.
yes.
Yeah,
Very
good
good.
communication. I feel that we're very lucky to have access to Gilmore and Bell. They're, you know, always looking out for
It
us.
speeds up the process so
Yeah.
much, because, instead of, we can give our thoughts and these things, but to actually sit there and say, attorneys, and there's that, confidentiality, that, because there is numbers, there is things that if you look at, and like say an IRB, industrial revenue bond, they can say that, this amount is really not feasible in your interest in doing it, but it is one of those to say this is, would be good for your project. And in this case, there's all kinds of things that are going to be looked at. I know at least three. And these are all state-approved, local incentives that can be offered.
Very good.
Okay.
I'll move to approve Resolution R-20-82 as presented.
Second?
Motion is made by Commissioner Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner York to approve Resolution R-20-82 as presented. Commissioner Maxon.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Okay, we'll go into the city manager's report.
Mayor, Commissioners, just wanted to thank all the staff. We're going in, and we were getting ready for winter, and next thing you know, we're sunbathing. While we're out there, we have put on, sunscreen, and I commented this morning, anytime we have rain now, those bugs float in your rain gauge again, which has been pretty dry. Staff has a lot of plans. I did, and I want to reach out and thank Public Service. I believe the tree is the tree. Is that right?
Yes. Yep.
The tree is the tree. And of course, electric, the new, and of course, Chamber is here. The new Christmas decorations, they're going up? Okay, so they're getting, of course, we're going to take advantage of the weather while we can. It's a good time to put some stuff up, but it is, we're getting ready for the season, and we're also, staff, like I said, what we're pushing forward each winter is to be highly productive. So when it comes time for spring, we used to fall behind, and I want to commend them, is, short-staffed. And it's always been a catch-up, and I know the commission's aware, but we're actually getting ahead of that. And some of the things that we're doing in the winter is getting it out of the way, and that is doing, preventative herbicides, these kind of things, getting those on, and that way we have less work and can focus on doing good things. So I'm very proud of them. They're just super people, and you got a great group that believes in you and believes in Coffeyville. So I've said enough baloney that I hope you appreciate that. They are great guys and girls, and I was going to say that they truly believe in what they're doing, and I think all the directors that are getting them there is to make Coffeyville the city of choice. So if there's any question, I'd be glad to answer those.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to comments from commissioners and staff.
Go ahead.
No,
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I just, I see that we're making some progress on North Park, which is awesome. I know that, just like you said, we're short-staffed, got a million projects going on. How does that I don't know, Jim, if you want to speak to it, but how are we looking with that? I know at one point when I had asked, we had talked about a kind of an all-hands-on-deck approach, and what do we got going?
Yeah, what we've done is we have based up the parking lot as far as the size and what we thought. We have got that based up. We did place the order for some of the border that's going to be outside of that to keep cars from parking. We think it's going to do as well. We've had sorted through the playground equipment that was delivered earlier this summer. We have all the uprights sorted out. The type of equipment that is bought in playground equipment, none of it's marked A, B, C, and D. It's not like that type of setup. So you basically go by diameters of length, and you go off a schematic. We're working with engineering Thomas to lay out where the uprights are going to go, because there's really no clear picture that explains that either in the diagram.
Yeah.
You basically start at point A and work out from there. So hopefully next week we'll get the pins down and start drilling uprights. So we're still a little ways out before we start to have people come in and help put some.
Very good.
It's coming along.
Okay. Thank you.
I forgot, and this is Jim is doing a fantastic thing with public service. There is something, and we'll get into it when it is time, but you do have one playground on the ground ready to go, and that's what Jim's talking about. You have another that is to be ordered for $21,570. And then we have given, we'll get more, it'll be coming. There is another party that is donating $25,000. So that'll be coming. So the Parks Board, I just want to speak highly of them. They've been out. In fact, Monday, they're meeting again at Feaster Park. They're looking at stretching dollars and, you know, what equipment can be replaced, what can be painted, and they do know there is a possibility of another 2 after this 3 playgrounds. So we're crossing our fingers. People are working with us and doing things, and of course the commission is aware of that, and I'm glad that we can get partnerships in this and do some horse trading for the youth or children of Coffeyville. So they're going to be real busy, and we're going to get real good at putting together playgrounds. So I just thought I'd mention that.
Thank you.
Candy, would you like to address the Christmas parade? Have you got any information on it, or?
So we are going to move forward on having the parade this year, and we are implementing a few things just to help encourage some safety protocols. So we are encouraging everybody to not congregate on the plaza, which is the fun place to be, I know, but we're going to encourage everybody to spread out along the 10 to 12 block range, so that way no family should be sitting near another family. Everybody should be able to socially distance, have their mask. And we are also encouraging the float and entries to have limited participants. So we don't want a big old entry full of 30 kids on it. So we're trying to limit that a little bit. But we are going to move forward on the parade. We're going to have that. We also are having a holiday open house event this Sunday. So that'll be a fun event. And then, of course, the Christmas on the Plaza is going to be a fun event. That is something that was a collaboration between the Reawakening and the city and the chamber to encourage those that come in town for our Brown Mansion tours to stay in town and shop and eat and just be a part of the local activities and festivities. So a few different good activities happening. So
Absolutely. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Candy.
So I did want to mention, I was downtown yesterday and saw the public service guys over assembling the Christmas tree, which was great. And that's a beautiful tree, and Through private donations, we were able to add another 2 foot to that tree this year, so it's now a 22-foot tree instead of a 20-foot tree, and I think the ultimate goal is to get it up to a 30-foot tall tree, which would put it about the height of the Perkins building, I believe, so that would be phenomenal. But I want to thank those folks for working hard and getting that done. The electric guys were out working on getting the lights on the downtown buildings up. It's always such a special time of year when you see the downtown lit up like that, and they were working very hard, and just wanted to thank them for that. So.
And with the extra attention, things going on downtown and stuff, is there a way that we can schedule the street sweeper to come through? That way we can have the cars out of the way and they can kind of get in there. There's a lot of collection in that area that.
A lot of leaves.
A lot of leaves.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just dirt and gravel that'd be pretty easy to get out of there.
There's hardly any trees downtown, but we got leaves all over
yeah.
the place. I can't figure that one out.
They pile in
Yeah,
there. And just, kind of let the business owners and people in the area know when, and they can kind of pull off, park in a different spot, and you can get in there a lot easier. And it won't take all day to run through there real quick. But,
Yep.
all right. And then I had another little kind of observation. I had a little spare time, so I was going through some information. With Montgomery County Action Council, I was just looking at the Facebook page, and it's not against the Montgomery County Action Council. This is just kind of observation of, from May 7th to November 4th, of the 50 Facebook posts, Independence is mentioned 11 times, Coffeyville twice, Caney 4, and Cherryville 1. And then some of them are just general area community stuff. Do we have a breakdown of communication with Montgomery County Action Council from the city on our part? And I see Tricia's here. I don't know if you want to come up, kind of give us a rundown of what grant opportunities and projects are kind of in the area that are coming to Coffeyville, or just a little more insight and see where we're at. I haven't seen a whole lot either direction.
Yeah. So communication wise, I agree. We definitely need to get more out there, and that's one of the things we're working on right now. Initiative, and one of the reasons why we're seeing so many posts right now, we've done 2 articles, and we're going to do 2 more in this next month, because I can only afford 2 articles a month from my copywriter. But we're doing a hard push to try to get young professionals to move to Montgomery County. We're seeing what's happening with COVID-19. We're hearing from our realtors that several new families have moved to our county, including Coffeyville, in the past 3 to 4 months at really tremendous rates. It's pretty amazing. And so, but we've already seen this trend really pick up over the last 3 to 4 years. And so we're highlighting families that have moved to our community and their contributions to the community since they've moved here. So my copywriter is going to be reaching out to a couple more, and actually I have like 6 more articles in the queue for Coffeyville that just haven't gotten done because we're just waiting on the business owners to respond back. But talking about what Mac's been up to, I mean, we've been, especially since COVID, we've been working at Mach 20 trying to make sure that every single small business that needs funding has gotten funding. We've just a quick overview of the amount of money that we've helped secure from Montgomery County, especially in small business. We've secured over $1 million for small businesses in Montgomery County in the past 4 months, helping them between Spark, CDBG emergency funds, and some other facilitating back to business grants and trying to get those pushed out to businesses and things like that. But just specifically for the city of Coffeyville, with the grants that we've been facilitating with Spark as the point person with the county, Montgomery County or Coffeyville has received $3,383,529 that we've been working on to make sure that Coffeyville got taken care of this year. So we've been swamped. So pretty much, I would say the general posts have probably been about grants. Grants. I would say my job is about jobs, but since COVID-19, I've been a grant coordinator basically for Montgomery County. But that being aside, I mean, we've been busy, and I got an email just this evening that I was typing up with Javier back there from Prosperity Builders. Their project has been delayed again from COVID. due to some technical difficulties with contractors and things like that coming down to do inspections. But he sent me the full payroll report of what they're going to be hiring and the payroll rates of all those people they're going to be hiring. And the number that we were talking about before was 120, now it's 125. So those numbers are growing of what they're anticipating to hire on. Working with Kansas Works to set up a job fair in March so they can go ahead and start that large hiring push. They think they can get the work that they need to get done to get that hiring started in the first quarter of the year, and then be able to start, start getting those employees in by the second quarter. So fingers crossed that that's moving forward. And of course, we've been working with another business here in town that is looking at an expansion that's pretty significant. So that's been taking up quite a bit of our time too, trying to get that done. And just economic development, you don't get to talk about that in public, unfortunately. But the small business things too, we've got 7 new small businesses that have come to town, even during COVID, come to Montgomery County. We're working on 6 expansion and retention projects currently. I've had 9 RFPs. I just submitted another one yesterday morning to get some new business. And lastly, the big project that we're trying to work on behind the scenes, which is why we're probably not out in the public as much, is site certification. We're out of real estate in Montgomery County. There's literally not a building over 10,000 square foot left in Montgomery County that's marketable, that we can try to get sold to bring an industry to town. We have had an extraordinary, if you follow Kansas Department of Commerce, extraordinary number of businesses who are interested in coming to Kansas because of all the new momentum of things we're seeing to happen here in Kansas. Get away from the metros, come to rural America. And we can't respond because we don't have sites that are ready. We have issues with land that's out at the Coffeyville Industrial Park that we have to get brownfields development and things like that to get going to make that land actually marketable. We need to get this site certification process done. And so we're participating in a webinar tomorrow. They're just now rolled out the new site certification program with Kansas Department of Commerce, and tomorrow's the first training on that. So hopefully we can get that one going. And because of that, though, we were one of the guinea pigs that they were kind of testing this out on, because they knew I had 4 sites ready to go on paper, but not on, actually hitting the ground. That we received a grant for $25,000 from Evergy to help us with this site certification process. It also allows us to put a virtual building on our website. It's customized for sheet metal manufacturing, which is our standard business we have here in Montgomery County, but it'll allow any business who's interested in coming to Montgomery County to customize their building. How thick do you need your concrete? What's your elevation look like? How many parking spots do you need? What kind of ceiling heights, cranes, et cetera, that you need? Customize that building. Architectural renderings are already available based on their customizations. Creates that for them, gives them a price tag and a time frame, or how long it'll take to build that. And we're going to be coordinating that with our local contractors to make sure that matches up with our local folks as well. So we're really excited about that grant to help us get that going. So that's what we've been up to.
Sounds like quite a bit.
Yes. But I mean, the communication's getting out there. We average 1,613 Facebook hits a day. And so far this year, we've reached over almost 65,000 people in communication on Facebook or our website. So it's pretty phenomenal. We're getting there, but I would love to see more posts, more communication from the city that I can get out there, because we are getting those hits. And if I get hits, then it's shared on the city's page and it's shared on the chamber's page, and we actually grow our reach of our community. So
I agree.
Any other questions for me?
With that outreach,
Yeah.
I think we could use it, because at one of our recent meetings where they were talking about charitable contributions, they told me that they have a hard time having applicants. And they have money sitting, waiting, that they can't use because we don't have enough applicants. I had offered to help. I don't know how I can help bring applicants in a non-biased way. But the fact that we're leaving money on the table, and you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if we can get a word out there, I don't know how often they do it. but if there's a way that we can help advertise, to get more more applications for the contributions, I don't want to leave that money sitting on the table.
No, absolutely not. We want to get it out there as
Yeah.
fast as we possibly can. So,
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Anything else?
Thank you, Trish.
All right. I have one thing I want to talk about.
Go
You
ahead.
took my other stuff away. That's okay. Obviously, no. I do want to say, because we have a lot of Coffeyville nonprofits participate in this day, that Thursday, November 19th, is what we call Match Day for the Coffeyville Area Community Foundation. We usually have 22 city area nonprofits participate in this day. And because of everything going on, we've taken a different twist. You can mail in donations to the Community Area Foundation office, or on the day of Thursday, November 19th, from 7 a.m., I believe, to 6 p.m., excuse me, we can take your donation in person at the Community State Bank Drive-In at 8th and Beach. They have generously offered us that building to use that day, so you can pull up through the drive-through. They also have a window inside. You can come in, but that way everything's just limited on contact. And of course, it'll be online too. There is a link to that, and it will be available. It's on the Area Foundation's website. Believe it's under Give, Match, Grow. And so you can donate that way too. But all of those nonprofits that are participating are working very hard this year to try to maintain and keep things going for our community, and they're doing a good job. And so if anybody can help in any way, I know it would be much appreciated.
It's a great way to maximize your contribution as well, because those funds are matched up to, and I can't remember what the dollar amount is. But
Right, there's a
but it's
percentage, a portion
right.
that they do, but we've got 40,000 in matching funds available.
So
So
it really
it's good.
greatly benefits those groups if you donate that day. So, yep. And the only other thing I had was sales tax numbers still looking very strong, Stephanie. So that's a good thing. So I want to thank the citizens for shopping locally and helping out our local merchants. It makes a big difference. So please continue.
Do we have a breakdown on that of how much is online sales? It would be neat to know. I don't even know if that's possible, but I know that in the past that it passed so that the local county that it came from or city got the sales tax. But I'm just
point of
curious.
destination.
Yeah. I'm excited that our numbers are up. I'm just curious as to how many people are actually shopping here or ordering online. But, yeah. I don't have anything further.
That's all I have.
Neither.
Mr. Vice
Okay.
Mayor.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Vice Mayor Doan, seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to adjourn. Can I see a show